Venture forth into the depths of the Undercity, brave adventurer, and descend into the heart of the Forsaken's monarchy of shadow and defiance. I invite you to accompany me, the lawmaster of this plagued city, to guide you through its ancient crypts and allow me to unveil the sombre grandeur of this underground fortress. Amidst the echoes of conquest and the whispers of the undead, a legacy is woven as dark as the labyrinthine corridors that pulse beneath the ruins of Lordaeron. In this place, where the chill of death mingles with the resolve to survive, the Forsaken forge their destiny, undeterred by the world above that has forsaken them. The Undercity, a name veiled in darkness and mystery, earned its origins deep beneath the magnificent palace that belonged to a kingdom now in ruins. Long before its fall, the human kingdom of Lordaeron was renowned for its prosperity and might. Through the ages, Lordaeron weathered many storms, standing tall through countless conflicts, and for centuries the kingdom endured. As the Third War ravaged the lands of the Eastern Kingdoms, Prince Arthas Menethil, ensnared by the icy grip of the Lich King's will, enacted a tragedy that would forever alter the fate of Lordaeron. Within the hallowed halls of the throne room, he brutally murdered his father, King Menethil, marking the beginning of his own kingdom's downfall. Beneath its capital lay a vast network of sewers, crypts, and catacombs, a sanctum for the deceased royalty and a prison for enemies of the realm, known ominously as the Undercity, a name that would later echo its dark future. As Lordaeron's splendor crumbled under his merciless campaign, and following the city's destruction by the Scourge, Arthas took to the shadows beneath the ruins, envisioning the catacombs as his seat of power, from which he would rule the Plague Lands. Yet fate called him to Northrend, leaving the underground city ripe for the taking. Sylvanas Windrunner, at the helm of her undead army, who had also cast aside their chains of servitude to the Lich King, seized this opportunity. Together, they claimed the desolate ruins and the fortress beneath as their principal capital. Under her determined leadership, this collective of free-willed undead soon came to be known as the Forsaken. They tirelessly worked to expand the Undercity, transforming Arthas's initial vision into a formidable stronghold of their own, a citadel of defiance in the dark corridors beneath the earth. Upon becoming a faction of the Horde, the new capital faced an insurrection from within. Demonic forces from the Burning Legion, alongside Forsaken rebels, under the leadership of high-ranking officials serving the Dark Lady, briefly wrested control of the city from Sylvanas. In response, a determined counterattack was launched by the Banshee Queen herself, alongside the might of the Horde, to reclaim their subterranean seat of governance. The battle was fierce, ending with the restoration of Forsaken rule over the Undercity. To safeguard against future betrayals and ensure the city's security, the Corcron Guard, elite warriors of the Horde, were stationed within its depths, standing vigilant against any who would dare challenge the Forsaken's dominion again. Today, the echoes of the Lich King still resonate through the stone halls and twisted corridors of the Undercity, marking a pivotal chapter in its storied past. The Forsaken continue to fortify their stronghold, ever vigilant against threats both from within and beyond their borders. Amidst the remnants of Lordaeron's glory, the city remains a sanctuary for those who have faced the abyss and emerged largely undeterred. Here, in the underbelly of Azeroth, the story of the Undercity and its inhabitants unfolds, a tale of defiance, survival, and the desire for a place to call home in a world forever changed by war, betrayal, and the unbreakable will of the undead. The societal fabric of Undercity is marked by a stark rejection of the conventional moral dichotomies of good and evil. Governed by Sylvanas Windrunner, the capital's citizens range from spectral wanderers and banshees to sturdy abominations, all loyal to their Dark Lady. Despite their grim exterior, these residents manage a community life that's surprisingly vibrant. It's not uncommon to see a Forsaken pausing to reattach a limb or two, lending a rather literal hand to their neighbors. Culturally, Undercity is steeped in the practices and beliefs of the Forgotten Shadow, a religion that venerates the darker aspects of the world. This faith deeply influences Forsaken culture, emphasizing self-reliance, resilience, and a profound understanding of death and coming back from the shadows. Socially, the subjects of the undead maintain a complex relationship with the other races of the Horde, often marked by mutual respect, born from their shared battles and victories. Within Undercity, yearly recurring festivals encapsulate the Forsaken's embrace of their identity, celebrating their liberation from the Scourge and their sovereignty. Interestingly, during Hallow's End, newcomers often remark how little the city seems to change. After all, when your neighbors are already ghouls and skeletons, jack-o'-lanterns just blend in with the decor. The architecture of Undercity is a network of catacombs, crypts, and sewer channels that sprawl beneath the surface, mirroring the complexity and depth of the Forsaken society itself. The city's design, characterized by its dark, Gothic aesthetic, are not only a stronghold but also a cultural hub for the undead. Dark rangers like Cyndia Hawkspear patrol the city, their keen eyes piercing through any attempt at stealth. These elite guards, who were high elves once, now embody the Forsaken's martial prowess, always ready to defend their domain against intruders. Despite the perpetual gloom that shrouds its stone corridors, a sense of unity and determination pervades the Undercity. In this place, every shadow tells a story, and every corner might hold a Forsaken trying to remember where they left their head. It's a city where life, in its most untraditional sense, flourishes against all odds, driven by a community that's as tight-knit as their stitching. The journey through the glades of Tirisfal, with its eerie beauty and haunting quiet, prepares the heart for the remnants of Lordaeron, and approaching these ruins, travelers are met with the sombre majesty of a fallen kingdom. Within the ruins, the courtyard stretches out before us, a vast space where murmurs of the past linger. The spectral presence of citizens long perished fills the air, their whispers carried on the wind. Here, the weight of history is palpable, with each step offering a glimpse of the glory and tragedy that befell this place. The passageways, though open and unguarded, seem to echo with the sounds of a flourishing city that once was. Dominating the entrance, statues of past kings, now worn and moss-covered, stand as silent sentinels, guarding the memories of a once thriving capital. Venturing deeper into the ruins, the path leads to the Imperial Chamber, a site of profound historical significance. The remnants of the city's structures and the silent, empty throne room speak volumes of the sorrow that swept over its citizens. This grand hall, adorned with silken curtains, golden chandeliers, and a floor of pure white marble, was the throne room of King Menethil II, a space where light cascaded through the high domed ceiling, illuminating the intricate designs below. It was here that the kingdom's fate turned, where Prince Arthas, in a moment of betrayal, ended his father's reign, leaving behind a throne stained with the blood of its last true monarch. The echoes of the clanging of bells that once hailed Prince Arthas's return and the king's final words to his son are still said to be heard, reverberating through these royal halls. Now, the chamber serves as a solemn gateway to the catacombs expanded into the Undercity. Walking through these ruins, one can't help but feel a connection to the history of Azeroth itself, where the Forsaken, led by Sylvanas Windrunner, have carved out their place in this world. Beneath the shattered remnants of Lordaeron lies the Undercity, a dark bastion and capital to the Forsaken, the undead subjects of the Horde. The trade quarter, often considered the pulsing heart of this subterranean city, welcomes denizens and visitors just beyond the lifts that descend from the ruins above. This unique architectural district, alive with the commerce and whispers of the undead, hosts the central bank amidst its myriad shops and vendors. The bank is overseen by the Montague family, a lineage of forsaken bankers, among whom Ophelia stands out. She alone carries on the family tradition as a ghastly wraith, proudly representing their long-standing service to the undead community with a spectral touch. The layout of the trade quarter is intricate, with businesses spread across various levels, connected by bridges and winding passages that spiral into the city's deeper reaches. Among the eclectic offerings of the district, the inn stands out, offering a rest-in-peace experience with its unique open wooden caskets instead of beds, perfect for those less vital looking for a taste of home, or the living seeking a once-in-a-lifetime sleepover. Not far from the inn's morbid lodgings, facilities such as the Horde auction house and various trainers for professions and crafts cluster around the quarter, providing essential services to the city's denizens. Jeremiah Payson, known colloquially as the cockroach vendor, conducts his peculiar trade beneath one of the many bridges leading to the bank, his wares as unique as the city itself. Transportation within the Undercity is facilitated by bat handler Michael Garrett, ensuring swift travel to the farthest reaches of Azeroth for those brave enough to venture from this dark haven. Moreover, the guildmasters stand ready to assist in the formation and management of guilds, fostering a sense of unity and purpose among the Forsaken and their allies within the shadowy confines of their capital. Surrounding the trade quarter, and indeed all quarters of the Undercity, are the canals, a network of channels carrying a river of green, oozing liquid that flows in a circular path around the city's sectors. These murky waters isolate each quarter while simultaneously guiding travelers through the labyrinthine depths of this undead sanctuary. Traveling deeper into the shadowy recesses of the Undercity, the Magic Quarter emerges as a haven for the arcane, a district teeming with the Forsaken's most potent sorcerers, warlocks, and necromancers. It is here, amidst the enchantments of shadow and fire, that the Forsaken delve into the mysteries of magic, seeking to harness its energies under the guidance of Bethor Ishard. This quarter, nestled in the northeastern reaches of the city, is a place of learning and discovery, where practitioners of the dark arts come to refine their abilities, research new spells, and explore the depths of their craft. Mage and warlock trainers share their forbidden knowledge, preparing the next generation of Forsaken spellcasters to wield their powers with precision and control. Tailors, too, find their place here, weaving garments and crafting intricate attire, while Lexington Mortame, the city's portal trainer, stands ready to teach the art of bending space for instant travel. At its center, one finds the Temple of the Damned, an unholy site dedicated to the darker aspects of magic. These temples, known for their association with the arts of necromancy, were constructed from the skeletons of Draenor's extinct giants. In Orcish, they bear the name Grombolar, translating to bowels of the giant, a fitting description for places where the boundary between life and death is not just crossed, but has become a part of the decor. The Magic Quarter is more than just a place of arcane study. It is a symbol of the Forsaken's resilience and their refusal to let the past define their future. Within its bounds, the faction's undead spellcasters work tirelessly to secure their place in a world that has rejected them, turning to the very forces that sought to destroy them as a means of asserting their independence and power. Moving clockwise through the depths of the Undercity, the Rogues' Quarter lies hidden in the southeastern corner, a shadowy haven for those who operate from the darkness. This quarter, with its dimly lit corridors and secretive aura, where the air is thick with the scent of damp stone and the sharp tang of poison, is the heart of the Forsaken's clandestine activities. Here, rogues gather to share intelligence, trade in toxins, and hone their skills in stealth and subterfuge. It is a place where the soft rustle of leather armor, the silent unsheathing of short blades, and the clink of coin is often the sound of allegiances being formed or broken. The Rogues' Quarter is well equipped to cater to the unique needs of its residents. Rogue trainers, the likes of Carolyn Ward and Miles Dexter, mentor aspiring assassins amidst the murmur of cloaks and daggers, their lessons punctuated by the soft thud of dummies absorbing the swift but precise strikes and the metallic hiss of blades being coated with toxins. Ezekiel Graves, the poison vendor, discreetly supplies the tools of the trade, from lethal toxins to paralytic concoctions. Beyond the mastery of poisons, the district also offers training in leatherworking and skinning, professions that complement the rogues' reliance on agility and stealth, as well as engineering and first aid, disciplines that further enhance their versatility and survivability. In the Rogues' Quarter, every corridor holds a secret, and every whisper could be a matter of life or death. Here, the art of subtlety is prized above all, where battles are not only fought on the fields with sword and shield, but also in the back alleys and dark corners of cities. The rogue hood moves unseen, their presence often only hinted at by a faint breeze, or the brief glimmer of a blade before it vanishes into the night, shaping the course of history with each murmured revelation and stealthy maneuver. In the southwestern nook of the Undercity, you'll stumble upon the Apothecarium, a place where the Forsaken's flair for alchemy and the more frowned-upon branches of knowledge isn't just practiced, it's celebrated. Here, ambition meets potion, creating a brew of possibilities that drive the unliving's relentless pursuit of power through chemistry and forbidden science. This foreboding quarter is the heart of the Royal Apothecary Society, an organization led by Master Apothecary Farinal, devoted to the eradication of humanity from Lordaeron and the advancement of the Forsaken's agenda through the creation of plagues, poisons, and abominations. Just beyond, enthusiasts and scholars of the darker arts engage in the macabre sciences of tissue and organ transplants, seeking to mend and enhance their undead brethren with a precision that borders on fanaticism. The room brims with surgery tables bearing the marks of countless experiments, and the air is filled with a macabre decor, carcasses of humanoid races hanging from gibbet hooks. Truly a sight to behold for those with a taste for the unconventional. I suppose it would be wise not to tamper with anything left lying about. A heavy scent of chemicals and decay pervades the area, and within the confines of the Apothecarium, undead alchemists and scientists like Dr. Herbert Halsey toil tirelessly, their workbench cluttered with vials, flasks, and the remnants of their ghastly experiments. It's a place where the glow of alchemical solutions illuminates faces set in deep concentration, revealing a community fully committed to transcending the limitations imposed by the afterlife through science and alchemy. It is here that the newest and most horrifying concoctions are birthed, destined to be unleashed upon the enemies of the undead. In a secluded room off the main laboratory, Apothecary Kiva conducts his own brand of research, testing potions on captive Alliance members. As he administers his experimental brews, his subjects undergo an unpredictable and often lethal transformation. This sector also functions as a center for learning, where aspirants come to master the arts of herbalism. Under the guidance of biologist Martha Alistar, students explore the potent properties of flora. In a different corner, those drawn to the mystical art of enchanting find themselves under the tutelage of Lavinia Crow, an expert renowned for her deep knowledge and skill in crafting magical formulas that subtly enhance the effectiveness of personal weapons and items. The Apothecarium is not without its dark allure, drawing those fascinated by the potential of alchemy and their unforgiving experiments on the living. Dissection, vivisection, and torture are commonplace, all sanctioned by Sylvanas Windrunner in the self-proclaimed justification of creating more potent weapons of war. Their aim? To eradicate humanity from Lordaeron, one plague at a time. South from the Apothecarium, shrouded in the legacy of a tumultuous past, lies the Royal Quarter, known to her resurrected subjects as the Hall of the Dark Lady. This hallowed chamber, the throne room of Sylvanas Windrunner, is where she presides over her unliving dominion. It is the political heart of the Forsaken, where at its center, the Banshee Queen commands her realm. Surrounded by her royal dreadguards and flanked by her elite circle of advisors and generals, this quarter honors its name as a bastion of Forsaken power, a symbol of the unshakable will of its ruler and her vision for a future forged in the shadow of a deathless existence. The district's history is marred by betrayal and strife, most notably through the actions of Varimathras, the Dreadlord, and Grand Apothecary Putris. Their treachery unleashed the calamity at the Wrathgate in Dragonblight, where the creation of the New Plague, a Forsaken blight designed to kill both the living and the undead, claimed lives indiscriminately, devastating Scourge, Horde, and Alliance forces alike. The battle for Undercity that followed nearly cost Sylvanas her life. In response, the Horde launched a direct assault to eliminate Varimathras and reclaim the capital of the Forsaken. Meanwhile, the Alliance, under King Varian Rin and Jaina Proudmoore, invaded the city through the sewers in an attempt to confront Putris, the one responsible for the creation of the New Plague. The struggle within the royal quarter reached its climax with the downfall of both Varimathras and Putris, marking a pivotal moment in Undercity's history. In the aftermath, the members of the Alliance, previously oblivious to the dark undertakings beneath the streets of Lordaeron, were exposed to the Royal Apothecary Society's chilling experiments. For the first time, the full horror of what had been concealed in the depths of the city was laid bare, revealing a tale of ambition and atrocity that had been hidden from the world. Today, the royal quarter remains a place of dark majesty, where the Banshee Queen oversees her realm with an iron grip. It is a reminder of the undead's tumultuous journey and their pursuit of their own place in a world that has often sought their undoing. In the shadows of Sylvanas's throne, this quarter embodies the Forsaken's unflinching spirit, a fortress within a city of the dead, where the halls resonate with the solemn vows of loyalty to the Dark Lady and her vision. In the northwestern corridors of the Undercity, the War Quarter emerges as the citadel of martial prowess and strength. Blacksmithing and mining trainers offer their knowledge, ensuring that the war machine of the Undercity is well equipped and ready to face any challenge. The clanging of steel and the whispered prayers to forgotten deities mingle in the air, crafting an atmosphere of determination and solemnity. This sector is the lifeblood of the Forsaken's military might, a nexus where the fiercest class mentors dedicate themselves to honing the skills of the capital's defenders. Under the Dark Lady's banner, Derek the Undying shares his expertise in magic and ranged combat, preparing his students to strike swiftly and without mercy. Aeltha Least delves into the mysteries of shadow and discipline, teaching her unliving acolytes to wield these forces in service of their people. Christoph Walker instructs his protégés in the specializations of fury and protection, forging them into indomitable warriors of the Forsaken cause. The War Quarter serves not only as a training ground for these formidable combatants, but also as a place of preparation and strategy, where plans are forged against the anvil of conflict that threatens their domain. At the heart lies the Altar of Darkness, a relic of the Scourge's reign and the Lich King's unforgiving influence. This structure enabled the resurrection of fallen victims to swell the ranks of his undead army. Though it no longer pulses with such forbidding energy, its presence in Undercity is a reminder of the Scourge's enduring legacy and the Forsaken's mastery over the afterlife itself, a people who have turned the curse of undeath into their most potent weapon. Within the bounds of the War Quarter, the military legions of the Undercity are forged into an unstoppable force, ready to defend their sovereignty and expand their influence across the lands of the living. It is a place where courage is not just admired, it's a way of unlife, guiding Forsaken heroes to inscribe their stories in the scrolls of history, piecing together their tales and, occasionally themselves, along the way. As we venture from the War Quarter, we find ourselves in an unexpected part of this subterranean capital. Nestled to the west of the main gate, near an outpost of the Scarlet Crusade and hidden from the gaze of friend and foe alike, the sewers of the Undercity offer a passage into the heart of the Forsaken's domain, veiled from view. Bats glide in and out of these tunnels, whisking travelers to and from the city's heart with surprising efficiency, all under the watchful eyes of the Corcron guards, ensuring the safety of this secret thoroughfare. This network of waterways and forgotten tunnels acts as a vital artery for those seeking a swift and discreet entry or exit, bypassing the grandeur of the city's main gates and the solemnity of the elevators from the ruins above. The strategic importance of the sewers was underscored during the battle for the Undercity, when Alliance forces, seeking retribution and justice, utilized these hidden pathways to launch their assault. In the underbelly of the Forsaken capital, every shadow and echo tells a story of stealth, strategy, and the occasional hurried, unseen departure. Here, the constant drip of water and the distant, muffled sounds from the city below are all but drowned out by the flutter and occasional confused chirp of a bat attempting to navigate the tunnels with an overly enthusiastic, if not slightly disoriented, adventurer in tow. As our journey through the dimly lit quarters of the Undercity concludes, we stand at the precipice of an ever-evolving story. This abode for the unliving, a testament to the unbreakable will of the Forsaken, continues to prosper in the shadows, even as it navigates the treacherous currents of Azeroth's politics and wars. The Undercity, long a sanctuary for the damned, now faces the dawning of a new era, with its inhabitants, united under the banner of their Dark Lady, finding themselves at a crossroads. Will they cling to the twilight of their past, or will they emerge into the light of new alliances and challenges? What stories will unfold in the chambers and along the canals? These are the questions that will define the future of the Undercity, a realm that thrives not just in spite of the darkness, but because of it.